In this tutorial we'll show you a little bit about editing the layers that come in, and we're just going to be editing the visualization of that layer. So you can see here with the national parks, we have national parks like the Olympic National Park, and we have Rainier National Park. These are the depictions of the one in Washington State. And then I've also put in the U.S. city population. So all the cities in Washington, actually in the entire United States, I put those in. And so we're seeing just the ones in Washington here. And we want to go in and actually be able to visualize which ones of these cities are larger based on the dot that's there. Currently we just have all the dots the same size, and I want to show you how to change that so we can get some better depiction of that data, similar to the ecoregions here. The ecoregions are separated not by any classifications of larger or smaller, but just by the coloration of that green there. So if we go into U.S. city populations, first notice that if I open the attribute table, this is a very important part where you can see all the data that's in here. You can see the object ID, which is represented with a name. So, and these happen to be in Alaska because I have all the data in here for all the cities in the United States. But I have the name of that, as well as the population for 2000 and population for 2007. All sorts of data can be loaded into these attribute tables so that we have a huge reference from which to analyze the data that's in there. And also note that these are, the shape here is point files. These cities are just located as a single point rather than a line or a polygon. The other ones for the national parks are a polygon file, and we'll show you that in a second. So we want to go ahead and change the icon size based on the population here. So if I close that out real quick, I will right click on U.S. city populations, go down to properties, and in symbology, currently it's just under single symbol, so there's one symbol for all of them. We can do it different ways. We can go by categories, and if we have unique values here, so I can go and look at and just changing the color based on the name of it. That's only solely on name. We can also do quantities, and that's where we want to use ours. You can graduate the color, graduate the symbol, proportional symbol. So you can see here that the size of the city is changed, or the icon is changed based on the size of the city. So that's what we want to do. We'll come in here for fields, the value that we want. We want to use the population 2007. There's a lot of data in there, so that gives us a small error, not a big deal. And we want to go ahead and change that data based on size. So currently you can see that there is a negative 999 in here, and we want to actually get rid of that, so that if you looked back at the data, anything that didn't have data in it, if there was no data available, it was registered as negative 999. So if we go into classify here, you click on classify, this is going to show you the gradations that we have for so I can change around where the distinctions between cities is made. And one of the things we want to do here is with exclusion. If I click on exclusion, I can go through, and any data for population 2007 that is less than or equal to 0 we would exclude. So I can put in several filters here if there's names that I want to exclude or things of that nature. So I'm going to exclude that for this one. Anything that's less than 0, which would be all the negative 9999 values, or when there is no data for that city. So I'll click OK, and we will go back here and this should eliminate that data. You can also go in here as well just to change the actual value. So if we did 100, and we could do 1,000, 5,000, 20,000, and then 200,000. We'll hit OK and see what happens. Okay, we'll apply that, hit OK, and sure enough you can see we do have, you can change this back and forth such that you're accurate with how you want to represent that. You can see that this kind of fills out the space a little bit large, so maybe we could back that off quite a bit. You can go back and forth and change those. Now we just want to show you in national parks. If I go to the attribute table, you can just see that these are indeed polygons, and they give you the area, as well as the name here. So I realize that in the Olympic National Park you get multiple ones, even though it's one national park, and that's just because there's separate polygons. They're disjointed. There's a part that's on the coast as well as a part that is in just the central part of the national park and the peninsula there. So we'll go ahead and close that, and if I go into National Park, I'm going to go to Properties all the way down at the bottom, and again under Symbology, if I go to Categories this time, we'll go to Unique Values, and we want to look at the name of the park, and currently there's no values in there, so I'll just add all the values that are under that name, and you'll get all these different ones, and I'll click OK, and this indeed now changes to the Olympic National Park. Is different than Mount Rainier, different than the other national parks there, and then it gives a distinction here. So we'll go ahead and click Save there, and we'll be done with that, with the saving different types of files.